stacked here. This was tough for me. They and the Lions are my two favorite teams in NFC, but they looked fantastic against the Jets. They ran the ball, great scheme. Everybody participated, and you don't even have McCaffrey there. That thing looks like a juggernaut. Once again, I'm going to go with fact.
Well, normally I will have everyone answer this question, but I think there is an even more important question to ask today about the 49ers, Kimberly Martin.
What's his status?
The status of Christian McCaffrey. What can you tell us?
As of right now, Kyle Shanahan says he's day-to-day. The question of whether he'll be available for week 2, Shanahan says, listen, it's still a little too early. We got to see how he feels. This is an injury that Achilles tendonitis that he's had for several weeks. And so now if you're playing on turf, there's questions of will he be out the next week and then the next week. They need him healthy. You don't want to rush him back. And at least week 1 against your Jets was promising in that this offense can fly without him.
I was looking at Hawk's face when you said the word Achilles tendonitis, and you winced. Why did you do that?
A running back who is as high in the running back age as McCaffrey is, and Achilles tendonitis kind of feels like a trailer to the movie that you don't want to come out. So you're trying to give them some time to say, well, we hope this gets as good as possible because that thing happens at any moment.
Yeah, you don't want to stress that, particularly at a running back. And as you get older, those ligaments get a little bit more brittle. So anytime I hear Achilles, I get scared.
Absolutely.
So I hope they take care of it.
So, look, Christian McCaffrey was the offensive player of the year in the NFL last year. He is as good as there can be. They were obviously very effective even without him in week 1. So let me reframe the question. If McCaffrey is out for a substantial period of time, or let's even live in a world where he isn't able this season to be at his best, how much does that change the math for the 49ers?
Yeah, for a season, it would be significant. And just because the longevity, playing in big games, understand that they had a great performance in week 1, can that be? But I will say this, Kyle Shanahan, if he follows in his father's footsteps, Mike Shanahan, he put a lot of running backs on the map. Yeah. And I could say that Kyle Shanahan could probably do the same.
The reason why it matters is because Kyle Shanahan creates schematic advantages, in part because as a defense, you have to prepare for so many different things. One of those things is, where's Christian going to be? Where's Debo going to be? What's Kittle going to do? You take one of those pieces out, it allows the defense to focus in more on stopping a particular person in particular plays. So whether he contributes on the field or not, his presence is kind of like when you have just one package with a running quarterback. As a defense, we're going to spend at least a period of practice focusing on how to address that, which means that's a period that we're not focusing on the things you're actually going to do.
Yeah, they play positionless football, right? Like for McCaffrey, Jordan Mason looked great. Let's start there. He looked like another piece of the firepower that we're talking about. But McCaffrey can split out to wide receiver and run routes as good as a wide out the same way Debo goes to running back and runs like a running back. And so you lose that element with Jordan Mason, from Christian McCaffrey.
That's an important point because, to your point, when Kyle's dad was in Denver, it felt like a different running back ran for 1,000 yards every single season, regardless of who it was. Nick, let's go to another team and another injured player, Kirk Cousins. He just did not look healthy in week 1. They've got a tough game against Philly this week. If I said they're still going to win that division, would that be fact or fiction?
That feels like fiction. I was high on the Falcons before the season started, and I would love to say, let's calm down, have some patience. It's just week 1. But Kirk Cousins is not himself. He can't do the things that he wants to do. What he's been best at is under center play action. He doesn't seem to have the ability to do that, and you don't get Kirk Cousins without trying to do that at some point. If he's not able to do that this season, then all the weapons that they have, you're expecting Kirk Cousins to be Aaron Rodgers, which is not his style of play.
Kirk Cousins is a rhythm quarterback, so playing from underneath center, everything comes to him in rhythm. When you're in gun, that same rhythm, so you saw him pump and hold the ball, not really know when to deliver. All of that is based on what you're comfortable with. Him not being able to get under center is a big problem.
He just doesn't look healthy.
That's exactly right.
If he isn't, then they did draft the quarterback very high. It'll be interesting to see if they feel they need to make that move. That's not to disrespect Cousins. He just doesn't look healthy. Finally, Hawk, let's talk about another quarterback who's not healthy. If someone said the Packers are in danger of missing the playoffs because they're going to be missing Jordan Love for at least some period of time, is that fact or fiction?
That's a fact. This offense, this team is like, they're dependent on Jordan Love playing at a high level because we saw him get better and better as the season progressed last year. I know you're high on him for this year, Greenie, as was I. His ability to spread the football around has such a command of the offense. Without him, do I believe Malik Willis? Have I seen any evidence to believe that they can sustain? I do not believe so. I think Jordan Love is the linchpin.
It's an interesting question. Kimberly, I'll start with you on this. There were so many things we didn't get to on our first Sunday NFL Countdown because of the breaking news. One of them was going to be Alex Smith was going to bring up the fact that like half the quarterbacks in the NFL have played in some version of this offense, right? The offense they run in Green Bay is the most popular offense in the league. There are so many backups in particular who've played in it. Should the Packers be considering trading for someone to come run that? Malik Willis has been there a week and a half. It's not like he knows it better than anybody else. Is that something we should be thinking about?
They clearly have to be thinking about that. Good organizations have to scour everything. Like, you have to figure out, especially at that position, you go from Jordan Love to Malik Willis, a guy, like you said, just got there. A name that I keep hearing, I'm surprised Ryan Tannehill is not on a roster right now. You saw last year with the Browns going through multiple quarterbacks and then turning to Joe Flacco, plucked him off his couch and put him in that system. At this point, you have a team in the Packers those are the two teams, the Lions and the Packers, that in that division that I thought would contend for that title. So to miss your quarterback is huge.
Yeah, we have no reason to believe that Malik Willis is going to be good enough at the most important position. So you have to do something, or you're punting on your season, because you could potentially go 0-3 and no one's going to make the playoffs from 0-3.
Yeah, lost the battle with Will Levis in Tennessee, gets traded to Green Bay the day before the season starts, been there and has really no significant tape in the NFL. And
that's
you're expecting
Malik Willis.
That's Malik Willis. Yeah, I'm sorry. And then you're going to expect him to just carry this team to the playoffs. You better hope Jordan Love comes back in 3 weeks healthy. Right. Jordan Love not healthy, again, we've said this about everybody. He's not the same guy. No one is. So he better come back in 3 weeks healthy. Otherwise, you better find a quarterback.
4 weeks. This is their schedule. This game against the Colts, as of yesterday, at least when I looked it up, they were a 3.5-point underdog at home against Indy on ESPN Bet. There's no way they're not favored in that game if Jordan Love is playing. And then you see the rest of the games they have on that schedule. What do you think, Hawk? Do they need to make a trade?
I think they have to consider it because this offense, to your point, it's one that you can't just come in right away and run. There's so many nuances. When they install it in the offseason, they actually don't even take you to the field for the first couple of weeks because you have to understand that they do everything different in it. So Malik Willis coming to Green Bay is, we like what your physical tool set is and its ability to flourish in this after you've come acclimated. They cut, I believe, Sean Clifford, who had been in it a little longer. To your point, Ryan Tannehill, C.J. Beathard is out there, Mike Davis. Mike White. These are people that understand some of those nuances and can give you a better
that face.
Tom, what's up?
Did you hear the names? I heard the names.
Mike White played for Mike LaFleur, which is Matt LaFleur's brother. So I have to assume it's an incredibly similar offense. He went to Miami, but he played for LaFleur with the Jets. And, I mean, he had some very good games.
And you're saying Miami runs a similar version of offense? That's fine. I believe in these guys. I hope it works out for them. But it's tough to go from Jordan Love to that list of names. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, man, you're not wrong for that.
Packers fans feel like I feel, too. You said C.J. Beathard, brother.
I mean, what I
don't like, keep the ship afloat.
What I don't like is that LaFleur said, no, we're going to stick with Malik Willis. That to me, because I think he said that, we're going to. No, you better be saying something different in the locker room because every guy in there knows the guy's been there 2 weeks. Like that, we don't have that confidence in him quite yet. Let's get somebody that we feel like can go win 2 or 3 games or 2 of 3 games, and let's move on.
Even with Malik Willis he was drafted by Tennessee and it didn't work out there.
Right.
You know, like
he just got beat out.
There's literally we have not seen Malik Willis